Spacey Sims, and we are back with more of To the Edge of the Sky, Chapter 1. Actually, it's the prologue, but I guess it counts as Chapter 1. But, yeah, so this, like I said in the last part, we're going to just do this, whatever is available for the game that we can play. We're just going to do the whole thing, probably every day to every other day, really depends. What else I have, what I want to do, but we're just going to play what we have, and then every time there's updates, we'll have more. So it's kind of exciting. And obviously in the playlist for this, I'm not going to put the prologue or the demo, because the demo is basically what we're playing right now. So it's basically the same thing. So there's really, I mean, you could watch the demo if you want, because then you could see if I did anything differently. I don't know. I feel like, I don't know if there were as many options for choices in the demo. I feel like there probably were, because this is probably the same thing. They might have just updated, you know, the artwork, or it might have actually been exactly the same. But I actually do really like the fact that we've got a lot of choices so far, you know? And for a lot of, like a lot of visual novel games, the very beginning, there's not usually many choices, if at all. You know, it's kind of like, you have none. You know, you rarely get into choices until you get into, you know, more like, okay, so the prologue's done, so we've done like this bunch, and now we're in the first, and maybe now you'll get into choices, but it usually takes a while. But I feel like we've had so many choices just in that first part versus most games, the entire first chapter. So I like it. I'm not sure how much it changes the story. It might not change it drastically, but still, you know what I mean? You still feel engaged more, and I don't know, I kind of like it. So interesting. But anyway, so now we were in the church. I brought the guys to an abandoned church as requested. Although the trip didn't take as long as it normally takes me on my own, since the guys happened to have a rover ready to go. It was the fanciest rover I've been in, so I enjoyed the ride while it lasted. I got to sit in the front while I acted as navigator. As soon as we step foot in the place, Zero begins to wander around, looking at everything in wonder. But just as quickly, 4 moves to him and grabs his shoulder, stopping him. Oh, that's it. And the funny thing is, I remember this in the demo. We never learned his name was 4, and then it pops up and says 4. When did we learn his name? And I remember that from the demo being like, we never learned his name. I bet if you talked to him, you would learn his name, but it's weird that maybe, I feel like one of the other guys should have said 4, and then we would have been like, oh, that's his name, or whatever. So that whether we talked to him and learned his name is 4, or we talked to 0, we would have learned, somehow could have put that in, because now it just seems awkward. I mean, I suppose you could sit there and say, oh, you know what, she probably learned his name in the rover. You know? Well, I mean, I guess we can go with that. Because that's probably, if you think about it, you're now in there, you're like, hey, so what's your name, strange dude that's just here, no-name guy? We're not going to keep calling him no-name guy, so theoretically, I suppose she would have learned his name in the rover anyway. It's one of those little things that pops out, and you're like, wait, when did we learn his name? Because honestly, like, I think the first time when I played the demo, I was like, wait, when did we learn his name? Because I didn't know. Like, now we know, but anyway. We learned it in the rover. That's what happened. But just as quickly, 4 moves to him and grabs his shoulder, stopping him. Traps. 0 looks back at him without a word. 4 silently stares back for a few moments before speaking. Don't wander around mission sites, especially before 9 has given you any instructions. At the mention of 9, the three of us turn to look at him. But he's no longer standing where he just was. 0 shakes off 4's hand and walks a little further away. 4 merely watches him. He's like, well, I told you not to wander around. Where is 9? I look around. I'm wondering if that's his actual name, like Aish? Or is that just, I don't know. Here even? I watch in confusion as an annoyed 4 walks around the church, rocks and who knows what else crunching beneath his feet. With 4 distracted, 0 seems happy enough to take this opportunity to explore. He glances back at me as he stops to touch and examine one of the statues. Do you know who the statue is supposed to be? Sorry, I'm not sure. I don't know too much about this place, really. We could narrow it down based on location to the god or gods that were worshipped here. I can run a search. I turn and jump as I notice 9 standing right next to me. His glass is off now as he examines a different statue. I just think it's funny that they do this question mark. Like you're like, did someone else join us? Or is it supposed to be 9? Like, I wasn't sure, because I'm like, you would think it would be 9, but maybe it could be some random person. How did I not notice him move right next to me? Because he's silent. Silent and deadly. All of them are. I take a deep breath. Do all of them do this? I think I might seriously have a heart attack before I get home. 4 appears just as suddenly on the other side of 9. Have you all forgotten we're here on a mission? And this girl can leave now. She's done her part. Even if we're working, I think it's always good to take time out to learn about the world around us, if we can. We might not get another chance like this. Work time is work time, and this is Zero's first mission outside of Olympia. We should be teaching him good work ethic. 4 and 0 both turn in different directions, looking as if they've seen or heard something. 4 moves away from us, while 0 runs up and gets in front of me and 9 defensively. Because 9's like, I can probably handle myself, but everybody defends me because I'm top dog. I just get that from the suit. He just seems like top dog. I'm just saying. Maybe just dresses that way. He's like, I'm actually on the bottom rung, but I just like to look snazzy. I don't know. Now without experience myself, I narrow my eyes and look around for whatever it is that set them all off. Are you expecting someone? We weren't, no. Oh, we weren't, no. I peek out from behind 0 and see several hooded men standing there. Of course! You know, you could all at least change your outfits. Oh my god, seriously, honey, he showed up in the same hood as you. That's crazy. Just to taunt them. 4 is no longer anywhere to be seen. 0 stands in a defensive stance, watching the hooded men like a hawk. 9 begins to speak. Look at the little charming smirk on his face. He's like, I'm just gonna try to talk my way out of this. But we're probably gonna have to kill you. This is your hideout, right? Sorry to intrude. You know damn well this is our place. The hooded man looks at all 3 of us and narrows his eyes. Dirty drifter and some freaks from Olympia. There's no way you're not looking for our spoils. Suddenly, 9 puts 2 fingers to his ear for a moment. Then some sort of acknowledgement lights up in his eyes. He lets his hand fall back down and instead slides on his sunglasses. We're just looking for one thing in particular, really. Something catches my eye just behind the group of hooded men. Before I can comprehend what's happening, 4 appears as if out of nowhere. Grabbing the leader by the head with both hands, he quickly twists it, dispatching the man with ease. Damn! Silent and deadly, didn't I say? Before the body can even reach the floor, 4 turns to another one of the hooded men. Oh, they were wearing different color shirts. It's cool. He pulls something out of his jacket. I only catch the flash of steel when 4 moves, in the blink of an eye. He cuts the man down so fast that all I catch is the aftermath. Another body falling to the floor. The third man looks terrified out of his mind. Not waiting for 4 to get to him, he turns and runs out of the church. 4 lets out a small tisk sound as he watches the man flee, but doesn't follow. He's like, would have been fun to kill him too. He turns around to survey the area, and I find myself watching him in quiet awe. I have to admit, these guys are turning out to be really cool. And pretty. But our troubles are hardly over as another one of the hooded men appears from behind a statue. He makes a beeline towards 9 and me. 0, go. 0 quickly nods and rushes to meet the man head on. But he trips over some loose floor tiles and stumbles. That gives the man just enough time to rush right past him and straight at me. 9 pushes me behind him and pulls out a stun baton from his coat. And with hardly any effort on his part, he strikes the guy with his baton the moment he gets in reach. The guy crumples to the ground, thus ending the fight. It's awesome. 0, who had already been on his way to capture the guy, looks stunned. He pokes the groaning man on the floor with his foot and looks away. 4 appears next to 0, making me jump once again at his sudden entrance. Like a ninja. You tripped, Zero. Tripped. That mistake could have been the end. 9 shakes his head. It's his first time. Go easy on him. He's had 13 years of training. He should do a better job of protecting his leader than this. 4 looks at 9 instead. The weather generator is secure. Ah, good. And I heard that the others just successfully wrapped up their mission, too. 0 perks up at this and looks at 9. Is everyone okay? 9 nods. That type of mission is 6's specialty, so there wasn't any need to worry. He'd never let anyone get hurt, not even 5. I love how they're talking about people and you're like, who are these people? We're like, where's 8? Wait, we got 0. We're missing a number 1. We're missing number 2. We're missing 3. This is 4. We got 5 and 6. We're 7. We're gonna be 7. And 8. So we're missing like 4. We're missing 4 numbers. They're probably other side characters. Was there 5 or 6 of... I'm not sure if there's 5 or 6 of the guys in the band. I think there maybe only be 5. That would make sense. These games usually have like 5 love interests, don't they? Seems to be the way they work. Interesting. 0 looks away again, and I feel annoyed with 4. Even if 5 does have a habit of wandering off. Say something to 4. Say nothing. We should say something. Why not? I can't help myself. I have to say something. Everyone makes mistakes sometimes, no matter how good or experienced they're supposed to be. You don't know anything about us, so stay out of this. You're gonna love me one of these days, goddammit. Depending on what chapter comes out when. I don't know when, but one of these days. We're not playing here. One mistake can mean the end of a life. If that's true, then why don't you all finally explain exactly who you are? 9 takes off his glasses and smiles. For you, I'll tell you this much. You can keep a secret, right? I nod. I'm sure you already guessed that we're part of Phantasm. Well, yeah. A special team within Phase, to be exact. Our missions are extremely critical to the nation. So you called me... So you came all the way here from Olympia City? 9 nods. Sorry, I can't tell you more about what we do, or our real names. But you've seen us work with your own eyes. I can tell that you should be on the lookout for a special message soon. A message? From Phase? 9 nods again and 4 snorts. Lucky you. I wonder if you'll make it. 0 merely stares at me with an inscrutable expression, seeming curious himself. He's probably going to be our first boyfriend, though, I'm just saying. Who knows? Because I feel like that's the way it's going to go. They're going to relate, like, the chapter's going to be kind of the way it was with Mystic Destinies, where this is the path that you're going down first, this person's chapter, and that it's not like... Which I like, because when you played that, there was definitely a path where all of a sudden things were revealed, and if you played Hikaru's path first, you would have been, like, totally ruined the game. So, like, if you went into it now, bought the whole game, you know what I mean? And some games you can play any paths first, and there's a certain person, like, Code Realize, you can't go down Lupin's path until the end. Because there's a reason for that. Because if you went down it first, spoilers, probably. I haven't finished it, but... So I'm assuming that's kind of the way this is going to work. So I kind of like playing this game as they release parts, because it's kind of like it forces you in a path. Like, you don't really get to choose, per se. It's kind of like, you need to go down this person's path first, because it's going to reveal some stuff. And then the next person might have a little bit more. And then the person at the end, that's going to be the one where you're going to be like, oh my god, everything is all in place. So I like that. So I don't ruin things for myself. Anyway. We'll be going now, and thanks for your help. I really appreciate it. He's so nice and polite. Oh, he's so sweet. We can't give you a ride back, though. Sorry. It's alright. I can ask one of my clan to pick me up. So they're leaving, then. I wonder if I'll ever see them again. Say farewell to all of them. We'll say farewell to 0, because, he's the one. Thanks for jumping in to help before. It was cool working together. I hold out my hand for a handshake. He simply stares down on my outstretched hand, and I start to feel a little silly. Looking a little embarrassed, he finally reaches out to shake my hand, his larger one enveloping my own. Yeah, it was fun. Thanks for helping us. I nod and smile. Come on. 0 glances at him, then back at me and lets my hand go, perhaps a little slowly. 9 and 4 turn and start making their way to the church entrance, but 0 doesn't immediately move at first. It's as if he wants to say something else. Come on, kid. 4 calls out. They're like the same age. With that, 0 reluctantly turns and leaves to catch up with his comrades. He's going to be like, don't do it. Lost in my memories, it seems that I've already wandered into Olympia City's center. Blinking, I look around at the tall buildings shimmering in the evening sun's rays. The air seems so much cooler here, so much cleaner. The greenery intermixed with the beautiful solar panel-covered architecture gives off an indescribable feeling. It's as if humanity itself was able to harness the beauty and power of nature and coexist side by side. I take a deep breath and smile. Finally, I've reached Olympia City, my dream city. This place is pretty freaking cool. Ever since I'd heard of the wondrous city I've wanted to visit, I can scarcely believe that I'm really standing here now. Everything looks just as clean, gorgeous, and serene as I'd heard. I can't believe I'll really get to live in this city. I can't wait to see everything there is to do here. People walk around me, likely headed home after a long day, but even they seem in a good mood. I guess you can afford to be when you don't have to worry about starving or passing out from heat. Some of them head down slow-moving walkways, eager to get where they need to go. Others in cars fly above our heads, much higher in the sky. I begin to space out, just admiring the trees and watching the stream near me gently flow past. I'm assuming that's what... Yeah, this is the stream. It's hard to see with the thing, and I don't know how to minimize it, but like the stream and this like little bridge over it. It's cool. I try to absorb the feeling I'm having now, knowing that I'll never likely have it again. In this moment, everything feels perfect. The future boundless. The possibilities endless. In this moment, it's as if I've regained youth I thought I'd lost. Regained the feeling that I can do anything, and the feeling that anything can happen. I'm able to hold on to this ephemeral feeling, but for a moment, before the light fades away and the world of darkness seeps back in. Filtering the low voices of the crowd, from somewhere, 2 voices drift to my ears. I look around and see in the distance a woman bowing deeply in apology to an older man. It's fine. I don't want to hear your excuses anyway. This is the kind of thing I should expect when hiring a single mother. Your kids come before your work, after all. Well, it's not like that. This isn't an everyday occurrence, sir. And besides, that email didn't need to be sent off until later tonight. I can still make it. No, that's fine. I'll have Matthew do it instead. This isn't the first time I've trusted a woman to get something done and she failed. She didn't even have kids as an excuse, so at least you're a little better. Are you talking about Soo-yeon? Well, she's young. Exactly. Young and lazy. After all the risks that we take hiring minority groups like women and young people, you'd think you'd all work a little harder. Men always bitching about somebody else. Just saying. You can't get anywhere with this kind of attitude. I can't listen to the conversation anymore. I feel ill and weak in the knees. Here too. Even in Olympia City, there's crap like this going on. Even though it's the most technologically advanced city in the world, there's still these kinds of backward ideas. And in the future, this is obviously like the future. Well, yes, it was, right? 2077, right? In the future, women are still treated like shit. Thank you. But you know, it's one of those things like we're gonna prove them wrong. We're gonna kick some ass. Yeah. I stare blankly at the stream next to me, a cloud of darkness making everything that glittered with beauty only moments ago seem mockingly dull. I don't even hear my name being called at first until I feel a hand on my arm. I snap my head up to see 0 of all people standing in front of me. I stare at him in shock. Jokingly, are you stalking me? I like how they do that, like, jokingly. They put that in there so that you know you would go, hey, are you stalking me? It's not like, are you stalking me? Because you never know how it's going to come out. That's a nice way to do it. I think we'd go with long time no see. 0, long time no see. 0 shyly smiles and nods at me. I came to get you. I mean, I was sent to get you. You're late. They thought you might be lost. I gasp and then quickly tap the side of my glasses to bring up the digital overlay. The time says 5:45. I was supposed to be there at 5 p.m. Oh, shit. Let's go. I start walking together with Zero. After a few quiet moments, I glance at him. Sorry I'm so late. Do you know any shortcuts? Maybe. Just one, though. One is enough. Can you run fast? What? Because if you can't, you won't be able to keep up with the other guys you're about to meet. Much less me. Now all of a sudden he's a little cocky. I kind of like it. He's like quiet. Now he's like, can you run fast? Yeah. Before I can respond, Zero runs off at a ridiculous speed. What a little shit. Determined to catch up, I dash off through the Sunset City after him. Yeah. Perfect. So, can we do Origin? What's that? Okay. Okay, that's where we're supposed to go. Good, yes. So that was where the demo kind of ended off. And it was like, no, but I need more. And now we get more. I'm excited. It's gonna do the same thing to me. We're gonna get to that, and I'm gonna be like, no! Anyway, I catch up to Zero in a train station. My footsteps echo through the large, almost empty area. I can see Zero standing in the middle, waiting for me. I almost feel compelled to jog up to him, but seeing him just standing there makes me feel a little rebellious. This is cool. I slow down my pace the tiniest bit. He made me run after him through the city, so he can wait a bit. Once I finally get close enough, Zero turns away from observing me to face the man behind the counter. He shows the man something that looks like a clearance card. She's with me, new operative. The man glances at the clearance card as his eyes briefly light up with a colorful pattern. It's gone as quickly as it appeared, too quick for me to catch anything other than a flash of orange in his eyes. The man spares me a quick glance before he nods and waves us through. As I follow Zero, who isn't running off at high speeds this time, I take the time to observe our surroundings. The place looks old, yet well kept. Whoever is keeping the interior design like this must really like the vintage look. I'm like, it's so futuristic! She's like, it's totally vintage. Shut up. Though I still don't get why we're in an old-fashioned train station. I'd hoped we'd be flying there in a car, since I'd never been on a flying one before. But, oh well, maybe some other time. Zero starts moving towards one of the trains that's just arrived, and I follow him in. Cool, it's like an old subway! No, this is retro. Zero sits down on one side, and I sit on the other across from him. He merely stares at me, slowly making me feel more and more awkward. I can't take it anymore, so I turn to look around the vintage-style train. It's so empty. Are we really the only ones on the train? When I turn back, Zero is still just staring at me with no discernible expression. I decide that this might be a good time to ask a question. Why are we taking a train like this? Is it straight to phase? Why are you staring? No, Does this head straight to phase? Yeah. I stare at Zero when he looks away. Just, yeah? Guess he isn't very talkative. So, like, just straight in there. With the station inside phase? Yeah. He nods. I give up. I guess I'll see for myself. Other than a few curious stolen glances here and there, we spend the rest of the train ride completely silent. In around 15 minutes' time, we arrive at the train station. Would it be really fun if for 15 minutes they just made you click? Like you click? Like you have to click like 15 times, like once for each minute that passes, and you're like, click, click, click. Just to fuck with you. You're like, what is this? It's the awkward 15 minutes of awkward silence later, awkward clicking. Yeah, that'd be great. Oh, this is cool. And we head into Phase headquarters itself. Wait, well, okay, HQ. The moment I get a look inside, I stop in my tracks. The beautiful atrium has a light feeling to it, with so much open space and windows letting in the natural light. It's really freaking cool. It's filled with people, operatives and researchers, all in white, walking about. Some are in groups, some on their own. Although it's busy, the area itself is too big to feel crowded. I space out, taking in all the details of this wonderfully spacious place. I step back and look up at the ceiling and at the sky above. Wow. Good evening. No idea who's talking to us, so. Raspberry bubbles. I look back down to see a woman standing there. Oh, she's cute! She looks dangerous, though. She looks like she could kick our ass, probably. I'm Dr. Kiera Park. It's a pleasure to finally meet you. Although you are quite late. Oh, yes, I'm terribly sorry for that. Dr. Park gives a brief nod of acknowledgement as if she'd already forgotten it. Then she turns to Zero. Thank you for going to retrieve Operative 7, Zero. Operative 7? What a weird... Oh, wait, that's me. They're referring to me. Zero smiles back at the doctor. You are free to go now, Zero. Zero places his right hand over his heart and bows his head slightly before running off further into the building. I watch him go, but he zooms off so fast that he's gone out of my sight before I know it. Please, come with me. I'll take you to your room. She motions for me to follow. As we walk through the large space side by side, Dr. Park holds a tablet up. She begins to go through my stats one by one. These are most impressive, especially considering you have joined us without going through any of our training and advancement initiatives. I look around at the atrium and at all the people around us. Of course we have to be special, because, otherwise it'd be like, we got in! And then it'd be like 10 years later. Well, that would kind of ruin the story. Unless that was the whole part of the... Can you imagine? Like, it's just us training. We get to go on missions. No. The whole game was just you training. That's like part 1, and then part 2 of the second game comes out, the Fandisk, version. Okay. Is it okay to talk about all that here? Everyone here are operatives within the secret branch of FaZe. Therefore, an operative's basic stats are public information. I frown. It feels a bit odd to be reduced down to stats like a game. Or maybe just a literal statistic. It seems I forgot to introduce myself properly. I am the lead researcher here at FaZe. I have many responsibilities, so at times, you may not see me often. One of the things I am in charge of is ensuring that all of our operatives are always healthy and at their best. I apologize for forgetting. I'm always delighted when someone so talented joins us, especially at Phantom Alpha's level. Thank you. That's very high praise, especially from someone in your position. But I feel a lump in my throat. Am I really good enough? I don't know if I'm really what you think I am. I'm not sure that this whole thing isn't a mistake. She stops in front of me, making me stop with her. She practically shoves her tablet in my face. With her stylus, she points to my skill level ranking. It says I have a rating of S-class. This software analyzes the potential ability of a candidate based on provided data, and it's rarely ever wrong. She then relaxes and smiles at me. I made the software myself, after all, but it could be updated with new data later on. I'm sure that any new data will only prove the software's ranking to be correct, or who knows, maybe even better. The doctor's eyes seem to glitter at the thought before we begin walking again. Where is it that FaZe got the data from anyway? The data was collected by our operatives who came in contact with you. Ah, so that time, of course. But still, I wasn't with them very long. FaZe is part of the government in Olympia, and naturally we have an extensive data network for the defense of the city. The drifters were close to the city after all. You know I'm a drifter. Wait, no, I guess it makes sense that you would, considering everything else. What do you mean? I'm used to people from cities treating me like crap if they figure that out. I see. There are many operatives from all over. Europe, Asia, Africa, every inhabited continent. I myself am from America. And besides that, I judge on merit. I don't care where someone is from. I find myself smiling at the good doctor's words. Although she seems a bit stiff, knowing this makes me feel better about her. That's how things should be, so it's nice to hear someone in here share that opinion. Yay! Okay, this is the perfect place to stop. So, yeah, so I'm going to wrap this part up here. I'm having a lot of fun. This is really good. I love this. So I hope you guys are enjoying it. And we'll keep going. We're just going to, like I said, we're going to play through everything that's out there so far. So I don't know if it's going to be, if I'm going to upload this every day, every other day. I think it really depends. I might do every day unless I, record a ton of Sims stuff and I want to post, multiple Sims episodes a day. Because right now, I think the first episode of this is going to go up, because obviously I've just recorded these 2 parts back to back. I'm planning to post this Saturday, July 7th. But I have Wednesday the 4th. I have from Wednesday to Sunday, the 4th through the 8th, off from work. So I might be doing a lot of recording. So I might finish this. I might do a lot of Code Realize, some more Nameless, and obviously a lot of Sim stuff because I'm not playing Sims. I'm recording this actually, what is it, the 30th right now? I'm a week ahead right now. So I am recording this, yeah, it's June 30th right now. And I didn't record any Sim stuff this week because all of the Sim stuff that you've seen this past week, if you watch my Sim stuff, is stuff that I've recorded before. So I'm like, I'm going to have 3 days off of work. I'm going to have a 5-day weekend, basically. I'm going to be recording so much, so I'm not going to record in advance because then I'll be like 3 weeks ahead. And I don't want to be 3 weeks ahead. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll see if this is going to go up every day, every other day, whenever. But we're probably going to keep it, yeah, I mean, I think every other day at least, at a minimum. I don't think we do every 2 days, but whatever. It's going to be up until we get through, you know, everything that's available. So yeah, anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.